Hi everybody, just going to continue where I left off creating the baby Minion designed by Jess Davies, also known as CraftLover17 on Instagram. The pacifier will be in another video so you can look for that. In today's video I'm going to show you how to do the mask. We're going to attach the mask, attach the legs, the arms, we're going to do the bun, these little diaper pins that I made here, and we're going to do her mouth. If you haven't already checked out the first part where it tells you the body that you're using is from the other Minion, so it's the smaller body, and the video link will be down below in the description box, so you can make that one. And these are the supplies that you're going to need to create her. For the eyes, I failed to mention in the first video of this, the doll eyes, the safety eyes, you're going to use a 15mm. You can see here I added little flowers. You can add whatever you like, whatever kind of supplies you have, even a beautiful button here and there, whatever you'd like to just kind of add to it if you wish. So I'm going to continue, and I do hope you enjoy. Round 1, we're going to do 8 single crochets in the magic ring. So you're going to take your first band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And now pull 8 bands through, one at a time. Two loops over, back in, and attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook and remove off the loom. You should have 8 stitches. Move your bands around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is on your hook. For round 2, we're just going to add 2 bands to each chain. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all the way around. So you're just doing an increase on every stitch until you get to your stitch marker. At the end of round 2, you should have 16 stitches. So go in your first chain with 1 band. Go back in again that same chain to add your second band. And we just did our increase. You're going to repeat the next chain with 2. Back in, and the next chain with 2. You're going to repeat this all the way to your stitch marker. Back in, the next stitch, or the next chain. And repeat. So you should have 16 stitches. You can remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 3, we're going to, this is the pattern. We're going to do 1 single crochet followed by an increase. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. At the end of round 3, you're going to have 24 stitches. This round, we're going to add 4 beads. So you can see how I place them. They'll be on chains 4, 10, 16, and 22. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your first one. And so on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see how I laid out the pattern. You can get settled, fix how you'd like it, but you're just following just this way. So in your first chain, you're adding 1, and then the second chain, you're doing your increase, so you're adding 2. Back in. So I just used 3 bands, and my next is my bead, so that's chain 4. And you're going to repeat with the pattern. So your next one is with your increase, so you're adding 2 and back in. And then you're just repeating. So if you follow the pattern, how I laid it out, each section represents a stitch. So I'm doing my increase. And now I'm at chain 10. So I'm adding my bead. And then just continue with the pattern until you get to your stitch marker. So again, you should have 24 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4, this is the pattern. We're using the 4 beads, and they're going to be on chains 1, 9, 17, and 25. So the pattern goes 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. You're going to repeat this pattern 8 times. And at the end of round 4, you're going to have 32 stitches. So you're doing 2 single crochets followed by an increase. And you're starting off with your bead. So I'm going to go in my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, with 1. My second chain with 1 single crochet. And my third chain, I'm adding the 2 bands, so this is my increase, back in, and then you're going to repeat 1, 1, and 2 bands in this chain. Back in, and repeat 1, 1, 2. So you want to continue until you get to the stitch marker. So you should have 32 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For rounds 5 to rounds 13, it's the exact same bead placement that we did for the bodysuit, and it's going to be the same for the top. For rounds 5 to 13, you're just doing the exact same thing, 32 single crochets, so adding 32 bands, so you'll finish with 32 stitches. You can see I have 10, 20, 30, and 2. I am going to write the bead placements for rounds 5 to 13 down below in the description box. You'll find that there, so you might just want to write it down instead of just kind of watching each step and pausing and getting maybe confused. That might help you. So you can work that out on your own. I am going to run each clip that I used for the suit just because it's a little bit easier for me. So I'm going to do round 5 with you. And our bead placement is 4, 12, 20, and 28. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to continue. So each round you're using the 4 beads. So I'm going to go in my first chain, my first 3 chains, and add 1 band. The next. And I'm at chain 4. And I'm going to continue 7 stitches, and then I'm going to add my next bead. My bead. Now I'm going to do 7 single crochets and add my next bead. Again, 7 single crochets, and then I'm going to add my next bead. Two more stitches, and then I'm at the stitch marker. So there we have it, 32 stitches. And remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 6, again, still 32 single crochets and 32 stitches. Now on this round, round 6, you're going to add the beads on round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15th. Then you're going to skip 7 stitches and then add another one. So this will be, you're going to count 8 stitches and add another one. And then you're skipping 7 stitches and adding your last one. So you're adding 4 beads on each row, and you're going to add the beads on these chains. So I'm just going to do part of it, and I'm going to stop when I get to my first bead, and I think that you can just kind of pause and complete. So I'm going to go in my first chain with 1 band, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, chain 5, chain 6, and chain 7, I'm adding my first bead. And then you're just going to continue. Maybe I'll go to the next bead. So these beads are just randomly spread out, and I like that how they're spaced. So you just want to pause the video and complete the round. Now for round 7, we're still doing 32 single crochets. So at the end you should have 32 stitches. This time the beads are going on chains 3, 1, 2, 3, then chain 11, then chain 19, and then chain 27. So you're just adding the 1 band in each chain. So I have 32 bands, 10, 20, 30, and 2. I'm thinking that you're getting the point now. So I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna do the first 3 chains. I'm gonna stop at my bead, and then you're going to pause the video and then come back to me when you're done. So I'm going to go in my first chain with 1, chain 2 with 1, and then chain 3 with 1. And now you're going to go all the way, so you're skipping, you're counting 7 stitches, and then adding your next band, which is chain 11. For round 8, still doing 32 single crochets, 32 stitches when you're done. On round 8, we're adding the beads on chain 6, chains 14, chains 22, and chains 30. So I'm going to do the first bit with you and then stop when I get to my first bead, and then you're going to pause the video. So I'm going to start not where it's getting pulled, and you're just adding your 1 band to each chain. So it's chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, chain 5, and chain 6 with my first band. Now just continue, and you're adding your next bead on chains 14. For round 9, still doing 32 single crochets, and you should still end with 32 stitches. So this is what I have so far. On round 9, you're adding the beads on chains 2, 10, 18, and 26. So if you just notice, you're skipping 7 bands, and then you're adding 1 on every 8th stitch. That's all that's happening here. So I'm going to do the first one just till I get to my first bead, and then you can pause the video to continue. So I'm going in my first stitch on round 9 with 1 band. And then adding my second band with a bead. I'm going to go in the second chain with a bead. Now you just want to continue the pattern all the way around. For round 10, we're adding the beads on chains 5, 13, 21, and 29. So I'm going to do the first bit until I get to my first bead, and then you're going to pause the video and come back to me. First chain, so I'm at chain 5, And now you're just going to continue. So pause the video. For round 11, still doing 32 single crochets, and you're adding your beads on chains 1, 9, 17, and 25. So I'm going to go in my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and just adding my first bead on chains 1. And then you're just going to continue. So you can pause the video and come back to me when you're done. For round 12, same thing, 32 single crochets, and we're going to add our beads on chains 4, 12, 20, and 28. I'm going to do the first bit until I get to my bead. First chain with 1. Add your bead on chain 4, and now pause the video and come back to me when you're done. For round 13, same thing. This is our last round of the suit. So your beads are going to go on chains 2, 10, 18, and 26. And your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. I'm just going to go through all of this in round 13 so I can do a slip knot with you. And my last band, I'm just going to bring it through all of the loops, grab the end, and tie it off. So this is what you should have. Now we're going to sew on the legs, and I'm going to do both with you, and we're going to sew these on just a little bit different than the other minions. We want the feet to be at the side so it's sitting down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this side first. I'm going to find my slip knots at the back. I'm going to bring it to the front, and what I'm going to do is just slightly turn it. I'm going to put one foot in front in the center of these beads that you see here. I'm going to skip this section between these two beads, and I'm going to end up putting my other one in between these two beads here. So you can see the placement like this. So I know my foot is going to go here. I'm going to do this side first. So I want you to put your hook through the third stitch to your left. So here's the tip of the foot, fold it in half, find your stitch that's going sideways and go towards your left. 1, 2, and 3, and put your hook through. Forget about the slip knot. Yours might not be in the same position as mine. So I went from the outside towards the inside. Now, I am going to place my hook through the stitch that's right beside, you'll see 1, 2, and 3 down of the beads. And I'm going to go right beside it. And I'm going to bring my band through both of those chains. Now you're going to see the tip of your foot is facing the top of the body. You're going to turn it around and you're going to go to your next stitch on the foot, put your hook straight down, and where the tip of your hook is, just grab the stitch and bring your next band through on your hook and slide. Now I'm at the bottom of my foot here, so I'm at the bottom part of the body. Let's bring our hook through the shoe, put your hook straight down, and that's the stitch you're going to grab. Bring your band through both of the chains on your hook and slide. I'm still at the back of the shoe, and I'm going to put my hook straight down, and that's the stitch I'm going to grab. Bring your band through both of your chains on your hook and slide. Now if I put this straight down, you're going to see that it's already, it's already sitting on its own, and the foot is just giving it kind of like the support. So now I'm at the side of the foot. So I'm going to bring my hook through the chain on the foot, put my hook straight down, and that's the chain that I'm going to grab and bring my band through. Both the chains on your hook and slide. Still at the side, bringing my hook through, put my hook straight down. I will be covering part of this bead. Bring my band through both of the chains on my hook and slide. Now I'm kind of at the side and kind of going towards the front now. Foot, put your hook straight down, grab your chain, bring your band through both of the chains and on your hook and slide. Now I'm at the front of the shoe. Through the chain on the shoe and the chain on the body. That might be too high. Go straight down. Bring your hook, your band through both of your chains and on your hook and slide. The next foot, bring your hook straight down. Before I was going up, straight towards the body. Bring your band through. The next chain, put your hook straight down. And slide. Now I'm at the side of the body again, my last stitch. So I'm going to do a slip knot to tie it closed, and you should be like at the stitch right beside where you started. Bring your band through all of the loops and do a slip knot. And there's one foot on. Now for the other leg, the tip of your shoe, fold it in half, find your stitch that's in the center and count 3 stitches to your right. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go from the inside out. You're going to see your beads 1 and 2. If not, because you put it in a different spot, just find your area. So just say you have like 4 bands right here, 4 beads. So just say you were like over here or something. You want to just go to your bead right here. So if you had 3, 1, 2, and 3, you want to go right beside. So here's my bead. I'm going to go to the stitch right beside. Now, I also want to make sure that I'm even with this one. So I'm going to go down one here. And I'm going to bring my band through both of those stitches, or both of those chains, grab the end and slide. So just so your foot is going towards the top now. Now I'm going to go in the next chain right above. So I was here, now I'm going to the next chain on the foot. I'm going to put my hook straight down, and that's the chain that I'm going to grab. Now you want to make sure that you're going to be even with this one. So I might have to just let go for a second. Make sure that I'm even. Put my hook straight down or point down, grab my band and go through both chains on my hook and slide. Now put it flat. You're going to see, you want to make sure you're even. Go in the next chain on the foot, put your hook straight down, grab the next chain and bring your band through. I'm still even. So I'm going to go in the next chain on the foot, put my hook straight down and bring my band through. Foot. I want to go straight down. I'm still at the top. And bring it through. Now I'm starting to turn. Foot. Straight down. So I'm at the side. The next chain, I'm at the side. Putting my hook straight down. Bring it through all of the loops. And now I'm at the back. So the next one, I want to make sure I'm even with this one, putting my hook straight down. Bring my band through. I'm at the back still. I'm going to put my hook straight down. I'm starting to turn, putting my hook straight down. I'm in the center here. This is my last band, so I'm going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. And just check. And I'm okay with my placement. What you want to do now is take all your slip knots on the legs here and just hide them. And again, if you don't know, I really don't know how to hide slip knots. I don't like that part, but you can pause the video and do the other side. Now what we're going to do is attach the eye to the goggle and attach it to the mask part. So take the mask and you want to place it on, looking for the slip knots, kind of at the back. And I'm going to ask that you find the proper placement where we're going to attach the goggle. So I want to have this bigger opening in the front. So I'm going to turn it so that it's in the center here. And you want to get it on nicely. So you can go ahead and use whatever eye that you're using to attach here. I am going to use a doll eye today. So this is a 15 millimeter, and I'm going to attach it directly to the mask here. So I'm going to do that in a second, but I will show you how to attach the googly eye and then use the beads to attach to the mask, or sorry, use the bands. So I'm going to find my placement. So I just kind of have my slip knot at the bottom. And on the other side of the magic ring, so here's your magic ring, I'm going to go through, bring my band through, find my band and bring it through. I'm going to kind of let go because every time I hold onto it with the hook, the band falls out. And I'm going to go on the opposite side of the magic ring, grab my band and bring it through. And I'm going to keep that one on my hook and find my other end and tie it off. Or you're not going to really tie it off. You're going to use another white band. Another white band and do a slip knot. And then you're going to do 2 little slip knots on either side. So you want to find your placement. So I'm in the center, my beads are here, I have a little bead here and a little bead here. And I'm going to place this right here. So what you can do is grab a stitch on the goggle here. So these little tiny stitches, grab a chain on the body, and then you can do like a little slip knot. And then you can do one to the other side, same thing. So I'm just going to take this apart and I'm going to try my doll eyes, and I'm kind of really scared, only because it will be my second time using one. So I am going to find the placement where I want to go, and I'm just going to put this through and attach it with my backing to only the suit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my placement. So I'm going to just put it flat. Find my placement, and I'm looking at the magic circle there, that hole. So I'm going to go right behind. So this is where I'm going to put it, and I'm going to put it just through the mask. I'm going to grab my backing, and I'm going to put it on. Push it down, and now I'm going to bring my magic ring right over it. And I did it. And I'm going to turn my magic ring because I wanted the slip knot at the bottom. So I'm going to fix that after because I really wanted this slip knot at the bottom. So I think you get my point. And next we're going to attach this mask part onto the body, doing 32 single crochets like how we did the bottom. Okay, so I have 32 bands and we're going to do 32 single crochets around. I'm going to start at the back. My slip knots don't meet up, but that's okay. So I'm going to start on the stitch right after the slip knot here, and I'm going to grab the stitches on the body. Make sure that the mask part is on flat, and if you look around you can tell that the stitches are even, so like you don't want it down like this. You want to make sure it's totally even. And I'm going to grab the stitches on the body right below my chain on the mask and bring my first band through. And you're just going to continue around, making sure that your hook is your guide, body first and then the mask. Hook straight. That's the tip is your guide. And just continue. Once in a while, just check around just to make sure that your stitches are straight and they will line up when you're done. So you can tell. I'm looking at the next stitch that I have to make always before I actually grab it. And I'm also checking the top, or trying to anyways, the top of the mask to make sure that it's flat. And I also know that on mine, you can see the yellow bands underneath the white. That's just because I added a little bit too much stuffing. You could take some out with your hook. You could put some back after with a pencil. You could always add more and take away the stuffing, even though it's closed. I'm just going to make sure, I'm going to check around. I'm also checking the spacing, or trying to anyways, that's between here and I feel like somebody's home and they're probably going to walk in and make so much noise. Let's just pray that doesn't happen. You could probably even pause this video and continue, because I'm assuming that we know how to do this because we've already done it once already with the bottom part of the suit. Trying to go in the same distance here. I keep looking. It's kind of tricky. I am going to make a boy after too. I think this is a super cute design. I hope you guys like it too. I know the Minions are a lot of work, but it's a great little gift even for somebody. Somebody's home. And I'm just gonna look just to make sure I'm still even with this one. I don't really have spacing here at the top. You can always move around the stuffing if you do. And I don't know if I actually missed a chain, but I'm going to just go in the next stitch because I probably did. But because you have 32 stitches around. That's okay. Nobody will notice. Shh. Go into the next one. And I'm going to do a slip knot with my last band and tie it closed. So we have the top part on, we have the suit, the legs, the goggle. And next we're going to do the arms. For the arms, we're going to attach them obviously to the side. I want mine a little bit on an angle. That's how I think I want mine to look. So find your placement. Now I'm going to use a single band to tie it off. We have the 3 sewing bands. So I'm on an angle, I found my placement, and I'm going to find my stitch on the body and bring my sewing band through. Going to the next stitch, right above, bring my band through, slide. And the next stitch. Grab my sewing band and slide, and I'm going to turn it around. Grab my first little sewing band that I have on the arm and bring my band through and do a slip knot to secure it. So there's one, and now the other. So I want to have it in the same spot. So I'm just finding the placement. I'll be starting at the top here first. And I'm going to bring my band through, my sewing band, the next stitch, right below, bring my sewing band and slide under my first one, and then my next sewing band. I just want to make sure that the placement is good. I might have to move over just a little bit. That might be a little bit better. So I'm just going to bring my first sewing band through, grab the next, slide, and then the next, and slide. Turn it around, grab my first sewing band that I had on the arm, bring my band through, and do a slip knot. And they're pretty even. Now to sew her bun on to the top of her head, I'm just kind of looking for the placement. So here is your magic circle, and here is your magic circle. So I want to just kind of be even with that. Now I am going to do 18 single crochets around, so adding 1 band to each chain, grabbing the suit, and then the bun. Now you could do a couple of slip knots just to secure it around. That's up to you. So I am going to start at the back. I'm going to go through. If you put it flat, I might grab the chain on the bun first. So I'm going to grab the chain on the bun first, sorry about that, right beside the slip knot. So right like this. I'm putting it flat so I can see the magic ring and the magic ring. I'm going to put my hook straight down and grab the chain at the back here. And I'm going to bring my band through. Grab the other end and slide. So I'm going to do this all the way around. Again, I'm just right beside, grabbing the chain on the mask part. I kept calling it the suit, and slide. I'm going to go right beside. Again, if you can't do it, just do a couple of slip knots around just to secure it in place. And I'm just right in front of all these beads too. Now I'm just going to grab the next stitch right beside it. The next chain, I'm going to go right beside. So I'm just right beside the other stitch. The next chain on the bun here. Grab the next chain on the mask and bring your band through and slide. The next chain, I'm right beside and bring your band through. I'm going to kind of fix. because you don't want to have it stretched out. The next chain, the next chain. Again, I'm like right in front of a bead here. And slide the next chain. I'm just going in a circle, grabbing the stitch right beside my last where I just grabbed. The next. Put your hook straight down and it will always guide you where to go. The next. Putting my hook straight down, like right in front of a bead again. I am going to add some stuffing in a few seconds, so we have a little bit of an opening left. I might just do one more stitch. Put your hook through, go right beside, bring your band through, on your hook, and slide. And just check it out for a second here to make sure, because it's always easy to unravel it. Not that you really want to, I know, but it's always easy to do that. Now you want to grab a little bit of stuffing and we're going to fill the top part. This might be a little bit too much, I'm not entirely sure. And check it out. I might just take out a little bit. And then we'll continue. So the next stitch, I'm going to go right beside where I just went. The next chain, going right beside, put your hook straight down. The next, straight down. Straight down. Straight down. And the last stitch, straight down. Point of your hook tells you what stitch to grab, and bring your last band through all of the chains and do a slip knot. I'm just going to undo this because my other slip knot was underneath, and tie it off. And now, before you feel like unraveling, just move your stuffing around and it will help. Now all of these little slip knots you can just hide by going in through all your bands, and you can hide all of these or when you are done. So you can hide that, the back, these ones, and the arms. Now what we're going to do is the little slip knots at the top. Just randomly placed these little slip knots. You can use as many as you want, or you can minus it all together. I used about 30 bands to do these. So just your basic slip knot. I didn't do the back because I don't think you need to. You're just going in one of your chains and just randomly placing little slip knots. Now, just use a beautiful little button here, a little flowered button. Whatever you have, or, again, you don't have to put anything. Michael's is way too far for me to travel. So I just kind of went around seeing what I have available. And I had these little flowers. I don't even know where they came from, but I had these little flowers and I kind of just put my band through and then just did little slip knots around, attaching them. For the bottom, just used a little heart button. They're really cute. If you have something, add whatever you like, little buttons. I tried to make like a little safety pin using 3 gray bands and doing slip knots. I'm going to show you how to do that because I kind of like that little effect right there. So unless you have something else that you want to place, you know, little flowers or whatever, little buttons. I tried this little flower, but this little flower is falling apart on me. And basically what I did was I went on an angle. So I'm going to go about right in front of this little button here. And I'm going to start at the top chain, not here, like right on the bodysuit. Trying to grab the chain, going this way. And I'm just going to go on an angle, catching the 3 stitches, and I'm doing slip knots to each, or we would call slip stitches. So that was one. I'm going to go into the next one. I'm trying to be even with the other one, bringing the band through all of my loops, and the next. And I'm going to tie it off. So that's what I just did with that. Just trying to resemble the safety pins on the diaper. It's up to you. And then I just kind of went in and brought my band through and tried to hide the end there. I'm going to add the mouth, and I'm going to use the pink, the same color pink that I used for the bun. And just like the other minions, grab 2 bands and you want to tie them together. And I'm going to use a yellow band to secure it. So I am going to go on an angle about this way, the same length as my hook. Bring the band through. Grab the end and do a slip knot with the yellow band. I'm going to go from the top down to hide that yellow band. Bringing the band to the side. I'm just stretching up the band a little bit so I can hide the yellow. I think it's adorable.